Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's going on, everybody? It's Scheme. It's Molly. It's Chish. And it's Sunday brunch. And as always, we try to keep a special guest every week. And this
Hold
week,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait a minute. You said there's a scheme. I don't see a scheme in sight. Keem is here in spirit.
we was gonna get to that. Scheme is here in
It's
spirit for sure.
Jeesh and Moni. And hold up. Yo, without Keem, he's like our spirit. We didn't even play our real Jeesh. What on earth is happening? We'll be right back, family.
Oh,
For those of you who think you need more at home,
For those of you who feel the need to ask for anything,
for those who just need a little nourishment.
we have that at home. Brunch.
we eating, laughing, talking, and having a good old time, and everybody's welcome, y'all. We at
Brunch. We talking everything that you always be thinking about. Convo that's chillin', gives you feels that may even make you wanna shout. We have that at home. Brunch.
I feel better now.
Okay, there we go.
Better.
You're right.
I feel
You're
good
right.
in my spirit.
Look, we still getting back in the groove for 21. Y'all know what
Yes,
time it is.
welcome.
Okay.
2021, first Sunday brunch. Super excited. Yeah.
This is the first one, ain't it? Hey,
Dang.
kicking it in real good. Okay.
That is literally showing her ass like that. Let's do a little tilt. My Christmas tree is still up over there. Yo, virtual life.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So when you gonna take it down, Valentine's Day?
You know what? I might just put some hearts on it for Valentine's Day and some red chocolates and love, some rose quartz, and make it a Valentine's Day tree. Yo,
Ah.
do that. Like, I'm in my house by myself. I need all the joy that I could get. It's me
Okay.
and the cats. Like, I'm about to turn it into a every holiday type of plant.
Okay. So, the cats ain't tear it down, so I guess you can keep it up.
It's fake. They don't mess with it.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're gonna bring her in our guest, Latigerr. She has a book and a lot of other good stuff going on, so we're gonna just chat it up. Let's go.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you for having me.
Of
Of
course, of course.
course. So we would love for you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your book. Scope you out on Amazon because I need to see what was going on. Read a little bit of a sample. Definitely interested, but yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I am Latigerr. I'm a writer, artist, just overall creator, and this is my first book. It's called A Little Bit About a Lot. And it's just basically me documenting my journey and just the things I'm learning so far about, life in general. And yeah, it's my first book. It's not necessarily what I plan on writing like overall, but it's just where I was feeling at the moment. So yeah, I just kind of try to tap into or let people know ways I deal with, handling grief and, just getting into peace. Because I'm a peace chaser. I like to chase peace and I like to, help anybody in any way, certain things that I do to get closer to peace. If that can help anybody, that's where I want to do. Help anybody get closer to their peace too. So that's pretty much, what I dive into in that book. And I like to try to translate it in ways that people can understand. Because I know a lot of men may not like read a lot. I'm not gonna say not all men, but I know a lot of men that I talk to, they be like,
we know it.
So I'm like, I wanted to like translate things where they can understand it in ways, break it down in different ways that they could be like, oh, well, I get that analogy of it, in ways like that. So it's kind of what I put into that book, just kind of a way everybody can pull something from it. So that's that about that.
Love it. Well, the concept definitely sounds beautiful. I think like a lot of us are trying to be more conscious lately, myself included, and trying to be very intentional about everything I'm doing,
Yes.
setting those boundaries because I'm, prioritizing my peace.
Mhm.
If you could take us, just like a little bit of the vibe about what the book is like, if you could take us through like a little workshop or like a tip or something about one thing we might be able to do that, because I know everybody's like, I don't have time to do this, and time is
Yeah.
everything. But I know it doesn't have to be that difficult. Like you can
Yeah.
make time for it.
Yeah. And it really is about just being, like you said, intentional about everything that you allow in your space and allow and to affect you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's just really, everything has to have an intention. Because if you just let things come at you, any type of way, and I know some things you cannot control, and that's understandable. But the things that you can control, you have to control it. You know what I'm saying? You have to really be intentional about, okay, if I know that this particular place, thing, or person is going to affect me negatively, I need to cut it. And we really have a issue with cutting ties with things that really bring negative energy towards us. I know I still struggle with it to this day. But
It happens a
you
lot with family.
exactly. And you feel an obligation to deal with, these people, these places, even with jobs and stuff. And you have this sense of obligation. And it's like you really have to try to control what you bring into your space when you can, because life happens, things happen, and you can't control everything. So if you can control something, it's really best to do your control it. Control its access to you. So that's one thing that I really, I live by, is trying to control the things that I can and bring in my space, and let it have access to me and my peace. If I can't control it, I'm just gonna have to, bite the bullet, as painful as it may be, as hurtful and hard. Just gotta do it. You just have to. It's a must.
Yes, we got some praise hands from Brian.
That's
It's just
dope.
like as you were speaking, it brought up a specific kind of question, and I always think this is interesting, and it's not the lightest thing to talk about, but I know like a lot of things go on within families, like whatever the situation is. I know like it's always like a trope about the funny uncle or whatever. There's somebody always in the family who has done negative things to people in the family, and it's
Hmm.
like now we all need to show up at the cookout and be a one big happy family. Like that type of thing does not sit well with me. I'm of the like mind, like I don't care if you're family, just because you were born into my circle, that doesn't mean that you're a perfect person who does no wrong. Like how
Right.
do you like what is advice for that? Like how do you just having to be around family when you know that some people are just like not the best people, have made no amends, things have happened, everybody brushes over it, nobody talks about it, and it's like, well, you know what, there's somebody else who's living with trauma in
Yeah.
that situation.
Hmm. Honestly, you have to stand firm in your boundaries, and you have to acknowledge those boundaries and make sure the people that you do feel comfortable with in your family, you have to let them know, these are my boundaries, guys. This is what happened to me. This is my trauma. These are my boundaries. I'm not willing to budge on this. If this person is around and they cause me, any strife or any, if it affects my peace negatively in any way, I cannot be around this person. Period. It's gonna have to be a situation where I don't want it. You don't want it to end up a situation as me or them, but it's me or them. It's like I'm gonna come around when that person is unavailable.
Right.
That person is available and is gonna be around. I can't be around it unless we're gonna address it and dive into it and start to unpack it. So you can do some healing from it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you got to stand firm in what you are not willing to bring in your space. And I understand you. I understand that situation specifically. Okay, so and I stand firm. I don't come around if that's going to be the vibe. I'm not interested. I
Right.
know I love y'all. I love everybody else. I can come hang out with me when it's on my turn. But if that's going to be the situation, I'm staying away from it. It's
Right.
simple as that for me. Yeah, it's just simple as that.
And I think like I've been experiencing things like that in my family, and it's like I want to go and like everybody, like I think what you said was super important about let's have a meeting about it or let's talk about it or let's discuss it. So it's because everybody knows it already. We're just not
Yeah.
saying anything. So it's like I want everybody to heal so badly, but like sometimes people are just they're not ready, and that it breaks my heart because I'm like, yo, we can make this better. You know, it doesn't have to be so dark.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I have to tell. Like I tell a lot of people that ask me when some people are more willing and ready to heal sooner than others. And that's where it gets tricky because it's like you don't want everybody's healing journey is personal and everybody goes at their own rate and speed. So it's difficult because it's like, even with me, I understand it's like I'm ready. I'm ready to start healing for this. Some people aren't. So then you're just like, so what am I supposed to do? Because you can't make someone
Right.
ready if they're not. So that's where I say I just remove myself. If I can't make everybody else be ready to have these really, really uncomfortable and hard conversations, I'm just gonna back off. And when y'all ready, hit me up. Everybody else, y'all want to come hang out, and when y'all start opening up and getting ready to have those conversations, I'm just gonna be over here. I
Right.
can't be over there in that because I'm in a different space. We're not even going to be able to connect properly.
Period.
You know
Period.
what I'm saying? If y'all not on the same, healing space as me. So yeah, I get you 100%.
Yeah. And then we turn into the bougie aunt or the bougie cousin.
Oh, she fake. She don't come around the family no more. Yeah, I've heard it all.
See
I've
that, but
heard
see
it
that's
all.
wild because that's me. That's me. Like with anything, like as soon as I get any type of if I get offended, I'm distancing myself like quick. So it's like, but that's not healthy either because like I don't talk about it. I just kind of act like you or the situation don't exist, and then I just kind of like
Mhm.
go on
Mhm.
about my life. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like that's not healthy either because like you just not really know. I don't get to be heard. I don't get to like express it. They don't get to express it. Like it's just there
Mhm.
harboring and we just away from it. But the minute, you know what I'm saying, you're around, the attention can go either way. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
And it's hard to connect that way because you're both you're holding something back. There's like something underneath there. So like if you really are trying to connect and something is going to touch that subject, you're not going to say it because you don't want to bring it up. You don't want to be close to it because it might come up, you know?
Yes. Yes. And I understand you like just that shutting down, that's unhealthy too. I've worked through that point in my life. It's shutting down because that was my go-to was to shut down, and I was like, okay, this isn't healthy because you start this internal war in yourself once you shut down and you're not letting nobody else in, you're not letting it out. So now you just got this conflict in your mind going over and over, replaying situations, like trying to figure out why somebody else acted a certain way, and you can't understand it from your perspective because you wouldn't move like that. You know what I'm saying? You know you wouldn't. So trying to figure out why they would is gonna drive you insane.
Yes,
That's
right
what
there.
like,
'Cause you wouldn't move like that. So you
Exactly.
cannot imagine like the why that person is or yes, that is so and you can't think like that. So when you're not communicating, it's like you're thinking about how you would do it and that's not the way it's going.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
that's wild. See, it's just wild because I always wanted to like do this because like Latigerr, we follow each other on social media and like she just got the like a good vibe. I mean, like I always feel like she would fit right in. So like I'm like we got to get this little conversation because like
Yes.
Moni, y'all, both of y'all got like a good, like a y'all like my like spirit, y'all like spiritual guys, low key,
Yes. Amen for the spiritual guy.
like,
Right.
like real talk, like cause real no, cause like y'all both be posting stuff or saying stuff. Like me and Moni had conversations, and it's like she really be getting me together, like when she don't know it, and then you
Mhm.
like when you had stuff that you post, it be just real in comment to what I got going on, like with my vibe, with my brain. I'm like you know we got to get this vibe intertwined just
Yes.
for one time.
I
So go ahead,
that
Mom.
brings up for me like when you are because all right so I understand I feel like I get the vibe I understand what Jish is saying and I know again like this can be difficult for people to take when you are speaking to people do you try and I don't want to say convert but do you try to open their eyes or do you just like allow people and their process? Like, I don't know, when you speak to them, try to like drop things in there to like to help people out, or you just kind of like let people be when they know they know?
You know, a lot of times I let them drive. I'm the GPS.
Okay.
So while they're talking,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like, yeah, like, and I can try to, I've always been able to put myself in people's shoes. I can't fully see anybody's perspective, obviously, but I'm a strong empath.
Yes.
So
What's your sign? I'm sorry. I get it.
I'm sorry, I said I'm a strong empath.
I said, what's your sign? Now I want to.
Pisces.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay.
So like, I'm extremely intuitive. So when someone is connecting with me about something that's bothering them, I'm able, their emotions be so strong still. I'm just like, ooh, I can feel that. All right. I know exactly how you was feeling right there because I can feel it right now. So when they talking to me, I'm like, okay, I can feel how you feeling about it. So I try to guide those emotions and more into logic because our emotions don't always make sense. You know what I'm saying? Our emotions can lead us into a path of just misunderstanding and chaos. So I try to be like, okay, so I understand you were feeling this way, but let's talk about, not only knowledge and accountability for our actions, our own actions. Let's try that first. I always try to start there. Let's start at accountability. Let's start at saying our part of how we have made this manifest in a negative way.
Yeah.
Then after that, we can start to understand like, okay, maybe, say for instance, if you're with someone, you were in a relationship with somebody and they were doing you really, really horrible, you stuck around for a long time, like, okay, we got to take accountability right here for you allowing that. The
Period.
first time they showed you something, you did not take accountability and say, or you didn't say, oh no, this is not for me. You gave it, you made the conscious effort to say, okay, I'm gonna allow this person another chance. That's okay. Everybody deserves a second chance. I'm okay with second chances. Once it keeps happening, if you allow it to keep happening, you have to take accountability that you decided that despite what I'm comfortable with, I decided to let this go on, although I was uncomfortable. So I like to let people get in that moment, get in that space of like, okay, I should have nipped that in the bud as soon as I seen that it was going to cause me any pain or any suffering. Should have nipped that in the bud and let them know that I am not willing to accept that behavior at all, no
Yeah.
matter what. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, we're gonna start there. And then once we start going, I'm like, okay, and you are allowed to have your feelings, but let's keep going on, all right, if you had nipped this in the bud, this wouldn't have happened. It's not your fault this person is like this, but it is your fault that you let them think that you were, worthy of that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? You knew you weren't worthy. You felt it in the beginning, but you let it continue. So just take that acknowledgement first. And then after that, you can't process anybody else's thoughts, why they would treat them like that. But then you realize you come back to, you didn't deserve that. And you still don't deserve that. But let's go there now. Let's start driving into why you don't deserve this stuff, why you don't deserve these things, and for a person to treat you this way. Let's start talking about that. And then we come all the way around to, let's talk about what you're not willing to, let continue. Because you're allowed to change right now and say, no, I'm not dealing with that no more. It's on you. Say that right now. You set your boundaries right now from where you stand and that understanding. And that's just usually how I try to go when I talk to people and give them advice about situations. Just like, let's start with ourselves because we can only work on ourselves.
Right.
And we can't work on other people. So that's usually how I like to, help
So,
people. I
so
don't know.
that would,
No,
so
that
that would
makes
you?
perfect sense.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense. But so, like, is that what you like, kind of explaining in the book? Is like how you just kind of just deal with like
Yes.
your adversity, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Yep.
dope. I think that's something that everybody, like you said earlier, could relate to.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I was after that. Everything you say has me thinking of other things. Have you found, as you've spoken to people, that like certain things that have happened cause them to behave in certain ways? Like I've heard, like I went to the doctor recently, and I guess they were doing some sort of research study or something, and they're like, check off the things that happened to you in your childhood because they're like, those things can affect like you medically, like conditions in your body.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I believe in the connection between like mind, body, and spirit. But I'm like wondering, as you've spoken to people, have you noticed that, like, I don't know, and people are, the type of moves they make of like a root in something.
Absolutely. And I have an entire chapter on that in the book too, talking just about that right there is just how, even with just how society tells us we're supposed to be from birth, like from like being children. That plays a huge role on how we deal with everything. Like I say in my book, I say, we all start off, men and women, we all start off as the same organism. Then we switch over to, and our life, our experiences is what builds our personality. Our experiences, our influences around us, that builds our personality. We don't come in the world with a full-blown personality. We are clean slates and we are added. It's just like we getting added seasoning all through our life.
Yes.
Everybody around us, just extra seasoning. So that builds our personality, and then experiences, and then what we see. We in a household and we see toxic things that manifests in us, and we may not even know it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? It's not a distant thing. It's something we may not see until we're like in our 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a big deal. And I've spoken to several people that tell me like, yeah, when I was younger, I used to do this, that, and the third. And that was the only way I knew how to get through stuff. And it was just like, just because that's the only way you knew how to get through it doesn't mean it's good for you.
Doesn't mean that it's healthy. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So, and then they're like, but I've been doing this all my life. This is how this is the only way I know. And it's like, that's understandable. Now that you realize, if you look at the patterns, if you look at just the cycle, has not brought you closer to peace. It keeps you in this cycle of chaos.
Yeah.
So it's like, in order to get you out of that chaos, you got to do something different. You got to try a different method to help you, deal with, process things and deal with things. It's like, as we evolve, everything about us has to evolve. Not just, the things we do, the things we say. No, everything about us has to evolve as we get older. And we gotta be comfortable with knowing that we have we have the paintbrush to paint how we want it to be.
Yeah.
We're not kids anymore. If you know that may have worked for you as a kid because that's the only method you had, it's the only method you knew, it doesn't work for you.
When we're kids, we learn ways to survive. We're not thriving, especially if you grew up in a traumatic home environment. You're like, this is what I need to do to survive, to make it. And it's like, once we are not kids anymore and we turn into adults, now it's like we're trying to thrive and we're still like in survival mode.
Yes.
I found myself there. Like I'm doing it, yes, but I'm also hiding all my emotions, breaking down, not sleeping, on the hustle, can't stop going because of like some trauma from my childhood.
Yes. Yes.
This is like him. And also you brought up, you said that you have to change things and do things different once and about being in chaos. What do you say to people who have like now in adulthood found comfort in chaos? That is definitely me. I heard something. I saw a meme or something. I think it was Iyanla. She was like, I forgot who it was, but anyway, they were like, if you're someone who likes to sleep with the window open, no, it was a book. Sorry.
Look, I gotta say, your cat is definitely still in the show right now.
Doing a lot, yeah.
You might as well just go ahead and give her little 10, her little 15.
And she just started coming around more and like being more friendly. She would usually just hide.
Yeah, I was say.
Her. Now she's like,
she seems outgoing.
She's
like, "What's up? What y'all doing?"
I was thinking about the book. It's called Peace is in Every Step. And he was saying like some people sleep in the city and they have their window open because they want to hear everything that's going on outside. Uh-oh. Sorry. And they want to hear everything that's going on outside. And that's definitely me. Like I found myself in the apartment and like, it's too quiet in here. Let me open the window, and then just hearing the cars go by, the horns beeping, like the people yelling outside. gives me a sense of comfort. And I've like tried to figure out why. And I'm like, there's like something in that sort of chaos that makes me feel very comfortable. When it gets too still, I'm like, I get nervous. Like, what, it's too quiet. What's going on? Like, I'm missing something.
See, I'm the opposite. It's black and the windows is closed and it's cozy and it's quiet and it's dark. Like
That's me. That's me. I like dark and quietness. It's like, I actually talked to somebody else that's like that. But it was her saying that when she's in complete quiet and still, she's alone with her thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, that's the part that just she can't deal with it, because it's like now she's thinking of everything. She's reliving her trauma. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of not being in a healed space of understanding that trauma is no longer you. That trauma is not you. It's not a part of you. It's a part of your story. It's not a part of you. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to a place where you understand that, and I'm not saying that this is how you feel.
No, I'm listening. I mean, I have, sometimes I still feel that way. It's like, it's a real thing. Like, I want to open up the window and just like hear something.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a person, like, I don't watch so much TV, or I put it on, it's in the background. So a lot of times it'll just be quiet in here. I live alone with a cat. So I like open up the window to hear stuff, and it just makes me feel like I'm more connected. I don't know. It's something. I definitely want to unpack that, because I don't know.
Now, do you think it's because you don't want to start thinking of things? Like, does it distract your thoughts?
It could. I'm definitely like a high anxiety person, and I will ruminate. So I will take something and just think it through, and then, but why is this? And then why is that? And why this? I think it is a bit of a distraction for sure.
Okay.
I will spin if I don't stop myself. Stop myself.
Oh yeah, I definitely understand that, and that's definitely something that you can grow into. Because I was the same way. I slept with the TV on. I had to sleep with the TV on. Like, it has to be a TV on. I have to hear something. And now, I haven't always been the person that sleep in the dark room with no TV. I don't even have a TV in my bedroom. Like, I haven't always been like that. I used to have a TV, have to have it on. That was like kind of my alarm. If I hear it go off, I'm gonna wake up because why my TV off? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand, but I could tell that was really me just not wanting to just be thinking about stuff. All of your trauma, all of your past drama, it pops up whenever it feels like.
Yeah.
It pops up whenever it wants to. Not conveniently when you want it to, not or needed to, or you don't necessarily.
Office.
Exactly. No, and then you're fine. You're not even thinking about it. No, it's like right 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. It's like, let's think about this. Wake up. Let's start unpacking this. No, I need to sleep. So I definitely understand. And it's definitely a process.
See, imagine being at work on the line and something pop in your head, and you mad, and you working with your coworkers. So now everybody just pissed you off. You like, I be at work just thinking. First, I'm humming a song like, I'm like, and then why I let them get away with that? Like, I'm thinking like, now I'm in my head, and then they like, yeah, hurry up, like, see, now I'm about to get fired. Like,
it's probably easy to get into your thoughts when you're doing something like that, right? Because
that's what you do. You drift off.
Yes.
And you can either choose to go to, La La Land, or you could be, right, like you said, dealing with your traumas, and they're letting all the negative thoughts take over. Like, it's good practice too, though. Like, because you really can choose, like, how your day about to go. Just right in there. And you can get lost that quick, or you could just be like, nope, I'm just think better thoughts. Or hum a good song.
Yes.
So we have like a couple minutes left. I've definitely made a lot of growth in my life, but I want to make more growth. Plug your book for us again, please. I'm definitely going to purchase my copy on Amazon. Let us know the title, where we can find it, where we can find you.
Yes.
So get into our piece.
Yes. It's called A Little Bit About a Lot. It's on Amazon right now. It's just ebook for now. I do have the paperback dropping very soon. I'm working on that. You can get it on Amazon, Kindle, and I'm Latigerr, Latigerr, on all social media platforms. So yeah, you can find me. I'm on all. I'm everywhere.
That's what's up.
Definitely hit her up. A little bit about a lot on Amazon ebook. Again, I'm getting my copy. I always love a good read, and I love your energy. This has been really
Thank
dope.
you.
Yes.
I
thrilled
read
you
too.
guys
I'm
had
holding
me.
down for the guys. I read too, so I'm a copy. And I'm
Thank you.
gonna do a
I
review
appreciate
for the fellas because we read too.
Come on, readers.
Thank
Start a book club, Geesh. Male
Right.
readers.
All right, now don't push it on it. No.
I'm pushing it. You're gonna be at peace. You and the rest of the men.
There you go.
No, love it though, but I'm super excited to get into it. Thank you so much for joining us. You are amazing. Love
Thank you. Appreciate you guys for having me. It's an honor.
Of course. We're gonna chop it up, of course, and we're gonna do this again so you can meet Scheme. And we got more to come, so it's gonna be reason for more episodes. So
We need to come back for the after we read the book.
Yeah.
Come through.
See, look, that sounds like a book club. Y'all setting me up. No, I'm no, for real. That's how we gonna do it for sure.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, thanks for coming. See you later.
Till next time, family. Peace.
For those of you who think you need more at home,
For those of you who feel the need to ask for anything,
For those who just need a little nourishment.
we have that at home. Brunch.
we eating, laughing, talking, and having a good old time, and everybody's welcome, y'all. We at
Brunch. We talking everything that you always be thinking about. Convo that's chillin', gives you feels that may even make you wanna shout. We have that at home. Brunch. Come join the